All right, so having the ability to go out and vlog, walk the streets of the entire Portland metro and most of the cities and suburbs that lie outside of it and downtown, I am going to be brutally honest, open, 100% truth, the biggest differences, the pros, the cons of living West Side Portland, East Side Portland, North Portland, South Portland. I'm going to really go around the Portland metro and dive into the center of Portland and give you an honest opinion of all of these areas. What my goal is in this video is for you to listen to all these and find your lifestyle, what would really fit you so that when you're moving here, you can really start narrowing down your search. So I will let you live Portland, Oregon through my eyes and my stories. And if you want to know all of those stories, stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Ray Wilkey with the Real Agent Now Group right here in the Portland Metro. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, playing, and the honest truth and stories to living here, make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. We get calls, I'm talking dozens, sometimes daily, of people moving and relocating here. We're helping dozens of clients and making the relocation process absolutely as smooth as can be. If you want that help, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Portland Metro. Okay, so what I want to do is, since I've been able to unearth all of these different cities, suburbs, and sections of Portland. The first thing is they call them quadrants, even though now there's 6 of them. I always get made fun of for that, but that's what they call it. We're going to be diving into that. But to really, bring this video in and get you up to speed on really Portland Metro, I want to start with the east versus the west. Now, once you get over to the east side, you have northeast, southeast. Those are going to be, there's some similarities and differences, but I want to just talk about, before we go north, south, all that, the huge difference is east and west. Currently, I reside over on the west side. So what you're going to typically see is neighborhoods, and suburbs, Hillsboro, Tualatin, Tigard, Beaverton. These are going to be, bigger suburbs where you have mass shopping, mass community centers, and that is the biggest difference I think you see on the west side. There's still lots to do. And, a lot of the schools, even though maybe some of the rankings and the numbers don't show that well online, they're all, really good schools, especially K through 12. This is where actually, when we get asked where's the diversity in Portland, I think it's honestly more on the west side. You have Nike over there, you have Intel. So a lot of the relocation and people that are moving to this area are filling in there. 1, because of those high paying jobs. 2, it's one of the only places in the Portland Metro where there's growth. So Hillsboro and the South Beaverton areas, that's where all the new construction is. And they're in these incredible communities. So there's going to be all the shops, restaurants, bars you need very close, movie theaters. And with that, the schools are definitely really good all throughout. So on the west side, where I live, you have walking trails. Usually you have sidewalks on both sides of the street. I'm down, if you look it up in the Progress Ridge area, we have a fishing lake right there, so we can walk down there. Again, sidewalks every about quarter mile. There's a big park for the kids to play. We have a new seasons where you can walk in, sit down, grab a brewski. But you have Ace Hardware, you have a vet, you have Stretch Lab, you have workout facilities, you have coffee shops, you have a tap house, movie theaters, all in one shopping center. Whereas now let's transition over to the east side. It's going to be all basically flat roads. And that's one thing, once you kind of get to the South Beaverton area, those are all big mountains and trees. So you can get houses with views of the entire valley, see downtown Portland. And so it's a little more like less cookie cutter because of the streets that wind around the mountains and the lakes, the streams and stuff right there. East Portland, you're going to be basically cookie cutter, except for Ladd's Addition and Laurelhurst, which are incredible little neighborhoods, but it's going to be basically north, south, east, west roads. And they're way flatter, very walkable, and it's going to be 100% independent restaurants, shops, and bars. So you get to some of those main roads. obviously Burnside. That is the big divider between Northeast and Southeast Portland. But let me walk you through a little story here. You can take Burnside. I've done it. That's one of the main streets. You can take Hawthorne, some of the Belmont. These are just lined for blocks and blocks and blocks. So me and the wife, we actually dropped the kiddos off. And we started, closer to the river, downtown Portland, and we were able to go into a bunch of like funky shops, eclectic shops, maybe antique stuff. They were selling the freaking pots. Remember the pots you had that are like tan cream color with your grandparents had? You get like for a nickel. Now they're selling them for like $20-$30. I'm like, it's just all coming back in. It was just a lot of fun. And then, to start it, we went into a really cool independent coffee shop. People are in there, meeting each other, working. A lot of people just working those. It was kind of fun. So we got our coffee and we're walking around, the Portland thing. And then, we got hungry at lunch. So we're walking. I'm a French onion soup guy. I love French onion soup. We find this freaking French cafe. It's like 12 foot wide, little yellow building. I can't remember the name of it. And you just walk right in. Best French onion soup I've ever had. The kitchen is right there. You watch them cook in front of you. So there's James Beard winning restaurants. There's a bunch of different restaurants where literally you sit down, and we did this once, where you walk through the kitchen. You watch the cooks right there. They only seat like 5 groups a night, period. It's James Beard winning cooks. They actually make you a 5-course meal, set it in front of you, and you don't really know what's coming, although you order maybe a protein dish or a vegan dish or something, and they'll do 5 courses. That's what you're going to see. So we went into that French restaurant, and you can continue heading east until you find a really cool little bar, grab some brewskis. In fact, Belmont has the Belmont Station, a bunch of different beers that you can buy, take home. And then you continue heading east, and you can go up into Mount Tabor. It's really one of the most unique areas in Portland. And it's a big mountain system, 100 miles of trails. There's a bunch of parks in there. You can actually take your kids from park to park, and they even have these pamphlets. I ain't kidding you. That has like 30 different tree species. And so when you see these numbers, you get to go up to it and read what that tree is, where it's from, all that. It's really cool. That's the east side. It's very fun. But the farther you go east, and especially that 205 area, if I'm going to be blatantly honest, that's where maybe you'll see a lot more of the homeless people anywhere along public transportation and those freeways. So there are some areas when you're looking in the real estate's a lot more, affordable. It's areas that maybe haven't quite been cleaned up yet, but there's some super sneaky areas in there. But yeah, northeast, southeast is going to be the independent, the shops, the restaurants. You got to find, some good areas. Some of the school rankings can be crazy, like an incredible high school and the elementary is not as good. Those are what you got to, reach out to us and really get the inside information. NoPo is probably where the majority of the growth is going. It's North Portland. So we're seeing the Boise neighborhood, obviously Mississippi Street. These are areas 5-10 years ago you didn't even want to walk down, and now they're probably some of the most fun. The Mississippi Street Fair has like 300 vendors, and you walk up and down there. It's all local Portland stuff. It's really cool. So those are areas, Kenton, and St. John's, where you're probably going to find the most affordability. There's still some, areas you may want to watch up there, but that's where you may see the most growth in your equity. So maybe, you want to save a little bit, or younger couple, and you want to be by all the action and get into a home, I would look up there. So the northwest side. So now we're going to cross back over northwest. This is going to be a lot of your big move up home buyers. And in fact, right like northwest Portland, Nob Hill is going to be old 120-year-old homes if you're down in Nob Hill. And if you get outside a little bit, you can go, and it's not really northwest, but Arlington Heights and some of these. That's where you're going to get the big mansions that overlook downtown Portland. Some of the best views you'll ever see. And then you can walk through Washington Park. And I'm putting Arlington Heights in northwest just because it's across the Burnside Street there, but kind of the same whether you're up in Northwest Heights or Arlington. Some of the most highly desired neighborhoods. In fact, Healy Heights is one of the top neighborhoods, best for families, huge homes, incredible views. Jesse Dow's favorite neighborhood. And as you go out, you have Forest Heights. Forest Heights is going to be an older homes, really, really, really big, 5, 6, 7 bedroom style. And they have their own elementary in there. Not a lot of shops, restaurants. But now if we go South Waterfront is the brand new section of Portland. It just got changed like 2 months ago. And so they had to change all the addresses because so many people are moving there. If you're a doctor, nurse, you want like the most incredible views of
the river, the Willamette River, downtown, and you're walking distance to downtown. That's the coolest condo living in South Waterfront. That's where our office is now. I love walking down there. There's so many people out walking around. You're going to see most everybody riding bikes, taking the Max, because the Max runs right through there. So you can get anywhere. Plus, you can just walk. It's all trails along the Willamette. So, that's where we're seeing a lot of active people. They live in the condos. You can take a tram, the gondola, all the way up over I-5 to the OHSU campus. So we're seeing a lot of nurses, doctors, and that's one thing too I've noticed on the east side is where the bigger hospitals, it seems, the nurses, doctors like to reside. Obviously, we have them on the west side too. The west side, I think, is just kind of your can't miss. Good schools. There's more diversity over there. A lot of shops, restaurants, bars. And then you're going to go south of South Waterfront and you can go into Lake Oswego. Lake Oswego is just kind of the dream spot. You have the best schools in the state of Oregon. Super safe. You obviously have the lake right there. The Willamette River goes through George Rogers Park where you can go swimming. There's like 27 parks within a couple square miles of Lake Oswego. There's so many independent shops, restaurants, bars. We've done a lot of vlogs on this, but that's kind of like the dream spot. If you want to save a little bit of money, but almost have the same look of Lake Oswego, you go just south of that to West Lynn. I love West Lynn. Addison, our local trusted lender, born and raised there. We did a killer vlog where he just really opens up about the true lifestyle there. He remembers what I love, obviously when I was a kid, but now with kiddos, it's really big into sports. Sports families go and they do their little t-balls, footballs, and then they meet down at the little Cooperville for beers and pizzas. And that's the thing too. I love sports. We get our kids into sports. If you love sports for your children, obviously Lake Oswego is good. It's all over, but I have found that the Tiger youth programs like Tiger youth football and soccer, they're on point, man. The communication is there. They let you know when all the signups are, and their facilities are amazing. It's weird. The Beaverton side, mountainside where we're at, you have to travel a little bit more. So yes, from NOPO, northeast to southeast, the biggest difference of northeast Portland and southeast is more of the true funky. It's going to be a little bit smaller. If you go up to northeast Portland, it's a little more highly desirable, probably better school districts and way bigger houses. If you're looking for that true Portland, be close to everything, but have the big sprawling house and even a huge lot, Irvington is going to be your spot. That is such an incredible area. We've helped some clients in there. I mean, there's, houses obviously starting, usually about maybe 6, probably 700, 800, but going up into the multi-millions. And I'm talking giant lots, huge yards. So you're right next to the Lloyd District. You're right next to a bunch of shops. You can walk up north to the Alberta Arts District. That's an area where if a house comes available, it's gone like that. The Alberta Arts area is very highly desirable. And there's a pocket neighborhood called Sabin. That's the one that Jesse talks about. It's right in between Alameda, Irvington, and Alberta. And that's your best bang for your buck for Northeast Portland, where you are sandwiched by all of those incredible communities. A little bit smaller homes, but that's where you get to live in all those communities and save a little money. So those are the areas that I love. The sneakiest suburb, I think, of Portland, though, where you get the best bang for your buck, and I've been there so many times, is out past Southeast Portland, and that's Happy Valley. You come up and over the mountain, you drop in, it's like Pleasantville. Some of the most beautiful views, and that's where you get the huge homes with views that are 5-6 bedroom in like the $500,000 range. So they have a really cool shopping center down there which has all of these food carts. So you can go in there and sit. They have a big covered patio, grab your food cart food, sit down. They also have a bunch of parks there. And I took my son over there to help a client. I had to show a house, and then we had to hang out for a few hours. Well, they had this really cool skate park. And I saw all these people showing up. I started asking what they're doing. This giant lawn. I'm talking the biggest grass lawn with all the play structures, tennis equipment, basketball courts, play structures, skate parks. And they were doing a music night. So if you wanted to meet people quick, you wanted that really safe neighborhood, you want the best schools, and you don't need to be close to downtown Portland, and you want to save some money, Happy Valley is amazing. There's so much new construction by Toll Brothers out there. So big brand new homes, $700K, $600K, for big homes. We did a really good video on that as well. So, hey, that's my honest opinion. That's the good, the bad, the ugly, everything that I like. I hope you found something in there that really triggered you. That's what we do. It's so impossible to figure out exactly where you need to be in the Portland Metro. And that's why we're helping hundreds of clients move here. Don't
have the FOMO, fear of missing out, reach out to us. Any questions you have, days, nights, weekends, the only way we can help you is you got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Days, nights, weekends, we got your back when moving to the Portland Metro. And until the next video, we'll catch you later.